Okay, so once again, good day everyone. This will be part 2 of our topic 1 on gender and society entitled Understanding Gender. In the past video, we were able to discuss about the difference between sex and gender. So, sinabi natin doon kung ano ba yung pagkakaiba nila. We also finished tackling about SOGSC. Okay, so lahat po yun, napag-usapan na rin natin doon. We also talked about what are the definitions of SOGSC. SOG stands for sexual orientation, gender identity and expression, as well as sexual characteristics. So we also discussed about the SOGI bill and how it came to be, its history, and as well as how is it relevant on our generation. Okay, so basically we tried to answer the question on what does it mean to be a male or a female? What does it mean to be feminine or masculine? Okay, so for today, we will be talking about mainly gender pa rin, but we will try to dig deeper on how it is a social issue. Okay, so kung doon sa first part would be defining it, clarifying kung ano ba yung nakapaloob, okay, sa gender. Now we will try to see its relevance, no, on a more applied approach. Okay, so for example, paano ba siya nakikita sa society, sa ating lipunan? Bakit siya importanteng intindihin? Okay, so ano ba yung mga implications? Paano siya nagiging social issue? Okay, so that it would be part 2. Okay, so let's proceed. Yan. So let's start with the different characteristics or the dynamic characteristics of gender. So earlier we already defined that gender is cultural. Okay, sinabi natin that it is social and cultural. So what does it really mean? Or how does gender is characterized? So unang-una, gender can be a learned behavior. Okay, later on we will try to define what does learned behavior mean. Number 2 would be gender changes over time. Okay, so na-point out na natin yan sa difference between sex and gender. Ang sex, hindi nagbabago yan. Okay, yung lalaki man or pagkababae. Okay, but for gender, it changes over time. So, for example, when you were younger, even if pinalaki ka bilang lalaki, okay, yung lumaki ka sa very masculine household, for example, ikaw si junior ng father mo, and you wanted to make him proud. So, lumaki kang tigasin, lalaki talaga. But over time, nung na-expose ka sa peers mo, na-expose ka sa real world, okay, parang nagbabago yung nararamdaman mo na you want to be more feminine. You identify as a lady or a woman. Okay, so that is gender. It can change over time. Okay, next one, number 3 would be, ayan, number 3 and number 4, they may seem alike, pero magkaiba po sila. Okay, let's try to look into their difference, no? For number 3, they differ between cultures. Okay, between. For number 4, they differ within cultures. So what do we mean or ano ba yung difference ng dalawang to? When we talk about between cultures, ibig sabihin, we're trying to compare one culture to another. Okay, but when we talk about within cultures, meaning you're comparing within the particular culture that you have. Okay, for example, sa number 3, yung sa between cultures, for example, iba yung pananaw ng mga Ilocano sa pagkababae as compared sa pagkababae sa mga Kapampangan. Okay? So for example, on an Ilocano household, the women are perceived as very kuripot, diba? Or they are perceived as very matipid. Okay? But for Kapampangan household, okay, women are seen as lavish. Okay? Sila yung mahilig gumastos. Okay, they invest in their appearance and their material things. Okay, so yun po yung between cultures. Yan, number 3 ha, between cultures meaning pagkakaiba ng perception sa isang kasarian sa magkaibang kultura. Okay, two different cultures. But for number 4, pag within cultures, meaning po, you're trying to understand yung iba't ibang pananaw ng iba't ibang tao na may iisang kultura. Okay, for example naman, Ilocanos from the Cordillera or yung mga Ilocano sa Baguio City, sa La Trinidad, ano yung pananaw nila sa mga kababaihan doon? Sa pananaw ng mga Ilocano dito sa baba, okay? Or dito sa Isabela, sa Tugigaraw. Okay? So, yun po yung within cultures. Okay? So, yun yung difference sa number 3 and number 4. Pag between cultures, ibig sabihin po, magkaibang culture. Pag within cultures, different people sa iisang kultura. Okay, so I hope that is clear sa atin. Now, for number 5, they are relational. Of course, they are relational. Bakit? Okay? Gender or gender identity in particular or gender roles pertains to our relationships with people as well. How do we treat people? Okay, how do we express ourselves to other people? How does our expression of our identity or how does our gender identity affect other people? It can even affect a community. Okay? Ibig sabihin po relational siya. It affects other people. It affects your relationship with other people. Okay, number 6 would be they are institutional. What do you mean by institutional? Okay, later on we will be discussing in depth kung ano ba yung mga institutions that perpetuate or that tackle gender. Ibig sabihin po, hindi lang siya sa laylayan tinitignan. Kumbaga, hindi lang siya within the family tinitignan, hindi lang din siya within the community tinitignan, kundi po maraming various institutions or mga ahensya, okay, sa isang bansa na tinitignan ang gender. Okay, so for example, meron na po tayong gender and development centers. Okay, even your violence against women movement. Okay, yung women empowerment movement. Okay, even Senado, yung Senado natin, they acknowledge gender differences. They acknowledge the importance of gender. Okay, even for example, Miss Universe. Diba? Before, hindi sila tumatanggap ng tawag dyan, trans candidates. But recently, diba, nagkaroon na sila ng mga trans candidates. They are starting to be more open kasi yung head na or yung nag-acquire ng franchise ng Miss Universe is a trans woman herself. Okay, ibig sabihin institutionalized po yan. Hindi lang yan sa laylayan nakikita. Hindi lang yan sa loob ng bahay nakikita. Hindi lang yan sa mga marites ng barangay nakikita. It is institutional. Maraming ahensya po sa isang bansa or sa buong mundo ang nagtatackle about gender. Number 7, they are hierarchical. So what do we mean by that? In some countries, actually, even here in the Philippines, gender can be hierarchical. Ano po ibig sabihin yan? From the root word hierarchy. Okay? Ibig sabihin po, it has something to do with position and power. Okay, so when we talk about hierarchical, there are some countries na mayroong certain position na hinohold or pinanghahawakan ng isang kasarian. For example, for countries na mayroong monarchy. Okay, so for example, sa London, sa Great Britain. Okay, di ba meron silang king and queens, meron silang duchess, meron silang prince, may princess. Okay? Sino bang mas mataas, ang king or ang queen? Di ba? Ibig sabihin po, nakabase sa kasarian yung power and position ng ibang tao, ng isang tao. For example, sa mga cultures din, okay, it can be, for example, here in the Philippines, for the longest time, or sa matagal na panahon, no, we have been identified as a patriarchal country. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng patriarchy or ng patriarchal country? From the word patria, meaning fathers or men. They hold the authority to lead. Okay, di ba dito sa bansa natin, even in your families, inside your families, sino ba ang head of the family? The father, right? Yun. So, yun po siya nagiging hierarchy who holds the position and the power. And for the last one, number 8, they are context specific. So, what do you mean by context specific? Ibig sabihin po, nakabase yan sa kung ano yung konteksto na pinanggagalingan ng isang tao. Okay? So, yun po ang number 8. So, going back to number 1, no, sabi natin that gender is a learned behavior. Let's try to define what is a learned behavior. When we talk about learned behaviors, these are behaviors that are acquired through experiences, environment, and observation. Everything that is learned can be unlearned. Ibig sabihin po, when we talk about gender being a learned behavior, it can be acquired. Okay? Pwede siyang mamana or ma-adapt ng isang tao. Okay? So, for example, ayan, may example pala tayo dyan. Women, ayan, they have for example, women who are raised or little girls who are raised inside conservative families, diba? You are expected or you are taught to dress modestly. Ibig sabihin, tinuruan kayo na manamit ng modest. Okay, but for men, ayan, pwede rin na natutunan nila how to build their bodies. Kaya dapat masel-maselan, macho dapat. It can be a learned behavior kasi pwede siyang, ayan nga, acquired through experiences. Pwedeng experience mo siya. Pwede rin naman na mana mo or natutunan mo sa environment na meron ka. Or even sa observation kung paano mo ino-observe yung galaw ng mga kasama mo, galaw ng mga kaklase mo, galaw ng mga tao sa paligid mo. Gender can be a learned behavior. Okay? But then, sabi nga dyan, everything that is learned can also be unlearned. What do you mean by that? Meaning po, gender, for example, natutunan mo na ito pala dapat ang ginagawa. Okay, but later on, sabi nga natin, it changes over time. Later on, na-realize mo in yourself na, okay, kahit natutunan ko na yan yung gagawin ng isang babae, ng isang lalaki, I know to myself na hindi yun para sa akin. So, you can unlearn it. Okay, pwede mo siyang ma-unlearn until you find the identity or the gender that suits you. Okay, so that is gender being a learned behavior. Now, in connection to learned behaviors, or sabi nga natin kanina, learned behavior ang gender, seeing that you can acquire and adopt these particular behaviors in your experiences, in your environment, and even in your observation. So, konektado po dito yung tinatawag natin na gender role. So, parang role. Pag nag-roleplay tayo, di ba, meron yung gaganap na nanay, may gaganap na tatay, ganun din po sa gender. When we talk about gender roles, these are socially constructed roles, behaviors, activities, and attributes that a given society considers appropriate. Meaning po, for short, it is what people are expected to do based on the sex that they were born with. Okay, so para ka lang din nag-roleplay, no? Na ano ba yung mga expected ng society sa'yo? Ano yung expected na trabaho ng isang babae? Ano yung expected na galaw ng isang lalaki? Ano yung expected na galaw ng isang tao that belongs to the LGBTQIA community? Diba? Ibig sabihin po, gender roles has something to do with the expectation of the society. Okay, based on the sex or the gender that you are born with. But basically, pag gender roles kasi, nakabase pa rin ito until now, Okay, doon sa sex, ibig sabihin, dalawa lang, sex, male and female. Ano yung expected na behavior or activities para sa isang babae? Ano yung expected na behavior or activities para sa isang lalaki? Okay, so let's try to look into some samples. Anong examples natin when we talk about gender roles? Ayan, so makikita natin uh, dito sa picture na to, ayan. It's basically a poster. It's a very simple poster that somehow encapsulates a lot already. So makikita natin dito pa lang, kapag babae, ano yung expectation sa'yo? Ano yung gender roles para sa'yo? Ayan, makikita natin yung icon ng makeup. Diba? Babae lang nagme-makeup. Okay, kasi kapag nag-makeup ka, na lalaki ka, syempre, that's outside the norm. They would consider you na, bakla yan. Diba? As if it's something na degrading, diba? Another would be, ayan, yung mismong color nga ng babae na pink, that's already a gender role. Kasi for the longest time, kapag babae, ang appropriate na colors for you would be feminine colors. For example, pink, purple, diba? Mga ganyan. And for men, ang appropriate na colors for you should be blue, black, brown, green, diba? So makikita natin dito for men, they are the people who should, ayan, bodybuilding, sila yung kumikita ng pera, sila yung sa gaming, sa cars, yun ang kanilang mga hilig. But for women on the other hand, makikita natin mostly would be for the appearance, makeup, dresses, shoes, baking, yan, watching movies, yung hobby nila, being romantic, falling in love. Yan yung mga gender roles na naitatalaga sa mga kababaihan. Diba? And kung titignan natin dito, there are 10 examples of some harmful traditional gender roles. What do we mean by that? Ito po yung mga gender roles that can be somehow harmful sa ating generation ngayon and even before actually. Hindi lang talaga siya na bring up. Okay, so marami po yan, no, itong 10 examples na yun. But some of the few examples, ayan, unang-una, women are the people, or women are the ones who should always cook. Na nakatalagang role yan ng babae. Kami yung tagaluto lagi. As well as taking care of the family. Diba? For the longest time as well. Women are perceived as what? Homemakers. Diba? Na dapat hindi ka magtrabaho sa labas. Dapat ang priority mo yung pamilya mo o dapat ang priority mo pagpapalaki ng bata. Okay? In contrast, men naman ang expected na magtratrabaho para sa pamilya. They are seen as the breadwinners. Diba? Na dapat ikaw, lalaki ka, dapat provider ka, dapat ikaw ang nagtratrabaho, dapat yung trabaho mo panlalaki din. Okay, dapat yung mga trabaho mo, dapat pulis ka, dapat piloto, diba? It's an example of it. Okay, even in, ayan, dressing. For women, dapat ang dress ng women, dapat hindi kayo nagpapantalon, dapat nakadress kayo, nakaskirt. Panlalaki lang ang pantalon. Okay, some of it also would be concerning sports. May mga sports na pambabae lang, may mga sports na panlalaki. Kapag babae ka, anong sports mo? Dapat feminine sports like dancing, okay, or gymnastics even. 'Di ba? Kasi yun yung may bending. At kapag lalaki ka, dapat yung sports mo masculine, dapat basketball, volleyball, 'di ba? Ayun, even in dating, 'di ba? Ano ba yung long-standing question? Kapag daw ba sa first date, sino ang dapat magbayad? Should it be 100% the man? Or should it be 50-50, di ba? Ngayon, parang ongoing debate yan even sa TikTok eh. Di ba? So, those are just examples of some harmful gender roles traditional gender roles that we can still see until today. Okay, so yun po ang gender roles. Basically, it has something to do with expectations. Okay, expectations po. Now, going to, in relation to gender roles, we have something that we call your gender needs. So, since we have very different or a lot of different gender roles or positions to play in our lives, meron din siyang nakaakibat na gender needs. Ibig sabihin po, ito yung mga pangangailangan or needs that you need to have in order to fulfill your particular gender role. Okay, so under gender needs, merong dalawang classification yan. You have your practical needs and your strategic needs. So basically, ayan, breakdown ko lang siya dito, but basically the difference between practical needs and strategic gender needs is that pag practical needs, ito po ay in relation to your gender needs for basic living. Okay, yung necessities in living such as your water, food, healthcare, employment, and income. That's practical needs. Ibig sabihin po, mayroong nakaakibat na needs sa pagkababae mo or yung ginagampanan mo bilang babae at yung ginagampanan natin bilang lalaki. Okay, so ibig sabihin po, it relates to necessities in living, your basic survival needs, as well as the responsibilities and tasks that you have every day. But for strategic needs naman, this is more general. Okay, ano yung mga kailangan ng babae in terms of decision making? Okay, in achieving their rights. Ibig sabihin mo, pag strategic gender needs, mas malalim po yung tinitingnan niyang pangangailangan. Kung sa practical needs, it has something to do with food, your biological needs, and how you perform your responsibility. Pag strategic needs naman po, ang mas tinutugunan niyang pangangailangan ay more of the decision making, the rights of a person to equality, and for long-term changes. Okay, yun po ang strategic gender needs. So, magkaiba talaga sila. Now, concerning to this gender needs, meron tayong iba't ibang strategic gender interests. Although ito, hindi ko na po siya i-rundown ng isa-isa kasi basically these are interests that you should know by now. Okay, na ito po yung mga bagay na nakikita natin sa society natin ngayon. Okay, so let's just try to simply go through them very, very quickly. Ayan, unang-una marginalization. Ibig sabihin po, marginalized people. Merong mga tao na tinatanggalan ng puwang sa pagde-decide sa isang importanteng bagay. Okay, ano bang example ng marginalization? Ano bang example ng marginalized people? So for example, sa mga magsasaka, they can be a marginalized population. Bakit? Kasi po sa decision making, sa pagtatalaga ng presyo ng bigas, for example, hindi sila napapakinggan. Okay? Or hindi na sila sinasali sa decision making kasi nga marginalized population lang naman sila, kukunti lang naman sila. Kumbaga, hindi sila significant. Okay, sa decision making na gagawin ng gobyerno sa kung magkano ba talaga dapat ibenta ang bigas. Okay, that's marginalization. Next one would be discrimination. Ayan, kitang-kita na natin. I hope you're familiar with what discrimination is. Ibig sabihin po, unequal treatment. Okay, based on factors over an individual such as their sex, their tribe, nationality. So basically, discrimination, sinabi natin yung SOGI Bill is an anti-discrimination law. Okay, ibig sabihin po, when you are being discriminated, unequal yung treatment sa'yo. Hindi kapantay nung treatment na binigay sa iba yung pagtrato sa'yo. Next one would be objectification, the assignment of less than human status and treatment to women. Okay. Itong objectification na to, you may want to refer to the trending video of Senator Robin Padilla. So, dun yung mas makakapture kung ano yung yung essence ng objectification among women. So I can send you the sample of the video. It's all over TikTok actually, even in Facebook and Instagram. That's objectification. Ibig sabihin po, parang nagiging objectified ang isang tao kapag they are assigned less of a human status. Okay, parang ginagamit. Kaya nga siya objectification. Object, gamit, ginagamit. Okay, next one would be, ayan, infantilization. Ang infantilization, from the root word infant, tinatrato kang parang bata, parang baby, na wala silang capacity of thinking like a mature person. So, kung ang isang tao ay nai-infantilize, ibig sabihin, tinitignan yung taong yun na walang capability of making decision, wala silang power, wala silang capacity to think critically. That's infantilization. Next one would be dispossession. Through patriarchal systems, ayan, it has something naman to do with inheritance. From the word possession, possess. Ibig sabihin, tinatanggalan ka ng karapatan sa mga mana. Okay, that's dispossession. Next one would be, ayan, value assignment. Similar lang siya with objectification. Okay? Next would be violence, of course. Na-discuss natin to nung orientation ninyo. What is violence? Hindi lang po yan physical, hindi lang din yan hindi lang yan siya physical. It can be mental and emotional abuse, which is culturally accepted as correcting a wife. Ayan. So, andyan yung example na pag violence kasi, minsan na, tawag dyan, nadidismiss siya as a form of correction. Okay? Kunyari, nasaktan ka ng isang tao or purposely sinampal ka ng asawa mo. Nasampal, tapos sasabihin niya sa'yo na sinampal kita para matuto ka or para magising ka sa katotohanan, mga ganon. That can be a form of dismissal to the violence. Next one or the last one would be subordination. Wala siyang wala siyang dash. Yan po ay subordination, Wala siyang dash. Ayan, subordination. Ano naman ang subordination? It's an assignment of an inferior position. Ayan. Ibig sabihin, kapag subordination, dinedemote ka. Ibig sabihin, for example, sa isang company or sa isang tinatrabahuan mo, no? Subordination means dahil ito ang kasarian mo, mababa yung position. Example lang to sa mga movies, di ba? If you notice, ang merong mataas na position sa mga movies, yung mga CEO, mga president, laging lalaki. Okay? At yung mga secretary, mga clerk, mga house help, di ba? Yung mga kasambahay are always mga babae. Di ba? That's an example of subordination. Yan. So, yun po yung ilan lang sa mga gender interests na nakikita natin in relation to the gender roles that they are expected to do or participate in. Okay, so yun po sila. Okay, so now we go to the institutions and systems that perpetuates gender bias. So, these are all related concepts, ano? So, ayan, kung nakita niyo yung trajectory ng ating discussion from defining gender versus sex, defining SOGI, okay, and then we now go to the gender roles, the gender needs, and now the institutions and systems that perpetuate these gender biases regarding or in connection to the different gender roles that we play. So, for this particular topic, ito na yung pangalawang topic na natin. Okay, so for understanding gender, that's topic 1 and it's divided into part 1 and part 2. And yung institutions now later would be topic 2 of our discussion. So, please stay tuned kasi i-upload ko rin po ito sa ating Facebook group. And please wait for further announcements regarding your activities as well. So later on, I will give the activity na gagawin ninyo in relation to our topic 1, which is understanding gender. So thank you so much for listening and see you at the next video. Have a nice day, everyone. Goodbye and God bless. Ayan. So basically, when we talk about gender bias or ano ba yung iba't ibang sistema na nagpapalaganap ng unfair treatment sa bawat gender. Ito po yung mga konsepto na yun. Ayan. So, unang-una, rigid roles. Yan. Yan yung kakadiscuss natin, the gender roles that we need to play. Gender norms lead girls and boys, men and women to rigid rules that limit the development of their potential and the fulfillment of each of their rights. Okay?